Okay, in this video we're going to replace the starter on the LLT engine. This one fits the CTS STS SRX and the 3.0, the 3.6, 2008 to 2011. Also the Chevy Camaro 3.6, 2010 to 2011. So this is what we got. Yes, it was a fun job, I'll tell you what, especially on the Cadillac. Had to remove the catalytic converter to get to it. It's all covered up with heat shields, so you really couldn't even see it until you got catalytic converter out of the way and you can get up in there. When I pull this off, this wire right here was coming in this direction, and this piece right here was bent in to hook onto there, but you didn't have no slack whatsoever. You had to really pull to get it unhooked. So it wasn't too bad going back in with it, but you don't have any slack whatsoever. I don't know if you can go on the top side and then hook something. You probably can on the Camaro because of where the charging connector is. Be able to unhook it there and probably be able to give you some slack. But on the Cadillac, no, it didn't work. So when I pull this out, this connector right here, this is the single wire connector that goes up to your push button. This is what actually kicks in the starter. Okay, and another thing. If your starter is just clicking, it's more than likely your starter. If it's not clicking, then you could probably have problems with your relay or your fuses or something. Because if it's clicking, this right here is what's clicking. Your solenoid is clicking, so you're getting power all the way down to here, and you have a problem with your starter. So this in here was clicking once in a great while when it was really hot. It would click and you'd have to sit there and mess with it to get it going, and then it got to where it would even do it basically any time of the year. It would even do it on a cold day, which surprised me. Usually when it's real muggy, it would do it. And then I took my wife to the hospital, and when I got ready to pick her up, click, 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 nothing. I had to sit there probably 5-10 minutes to get it started, and I never drove it since. I replaced the starter because I didn't want to be stranded. I didn't know if I was going to get it going or not. Okay, well, we're here at the car. You're going to see this big old connector right here. Got to move that out of the way. Just kind of fold it in behind the brake lines here. And then you'll see a heat shield right down there on the exhaust manifold. Got to get that off. That's got 3 bolts in it. One's right in the center of the picture there. You got another one just past, right in there somewhere. There you can see it. There you can barely see it on your left of your screen there. Left bottom down there. That's your other bolt, right down there by your dipstick. Okay, there's one, and your other one is on the back side. You gotta take your exhaust manifold bolts off. It goes down to your catalytic converter. Take them 2 off. And then the 2 down on the bottom of that one. So in other words, you got to take the whole catalytic converter off, and then you can get to the starter. That's the way I'm doing it. So this piece right here, just unplug it. Unplug it where it goes. It goes right up in there on that connector. So basically, take off that heat shield. Took me about an hour to get the heat shield off. Then you got 3 bolts on that. Then you got to take off the 2 bolts right here. Those 2 bolts. I put some liquid wrench on it, let it sit overnight, and they really popped hard. I was surprised I didn't break them off. Anyway, I got them taken out. Them 2 right there. Now I got the Cadillac converter. It's hanging down on the O2 sensor right now. Let's see if I can't take it completely out. Disconnect it. So now we'll go up under the car. Okay, in the center picture you'll see the starter. I got both bolts out. Kind of got it broke loose there. So now I'm ready to pull it out. Without having the Cadillac converter out of the way, you can't even see this area. So I don't know how them guys change out a starter without pulling the Cadillac converter off. I don't know how they do it. Anyway, this is the way I'm doing it. Okay, I did unscrew the oxygen sensor. Got lucky and that wasn't too tight. So I'm ready to get that starter off of there. I'm not sure how hard it's going to be to get to the wire connectors. I need to find me a wrench. I need to go to the new starter and find the wrench that will fit the positive side. When you get to this stage, make sure you got the battery disconnected. Otherwise, you don't want that big old heavy positive lead sparking against anything. Okay, I'll see if I can't get that out. You can see on this one right here that I broke it off right here. I couldn't get to it, so I want to get it off. So I mean, if you're not going to use the starter again, then don't be afraid to pop it off there. But that's going to be fun, getting that plugged back in and trying to get that starter back in place without breaking that one off. Okay, now we need to take and grind these off. Grind them studs off there. We'll have to drill them out. I don't think we could be able to get them out of there. I'm not sure the new ones would fit in there anyway. So I'll do that real quick. Okay, you can see right there in the center of the picture, that's the knock sensor I put back in. That was fun getting to. So the starter goes right in that same area. There's the heat shield that goes around it. So right there's the exhaust flange off the exhaust manifold. Here's the oxygen sensor hanging down. Okay, here's your wire that you got to plug in for the starter. Well, that's your main wire here. This is your main cable. See how they made that? Where you gotta, I need some slack out of this. Be nice if I could figure out where it comes from and take it off from the top side, or I can have a little bit more room. This one here's the one I'm gonna have to get plugged in, probably before I even get a bolt in it, because I don't know how in the world you ever get that plugged in once you get it in place. I don't know. I'm gonna try it that way. So I'm gonna have to put this phone down and see what I can get done. Be right back. What I had to wind up doing, I mounted this starter in there and I got the bolt started, and I said I better make sure I can plug this thing in before I get too far along on that, and I never could plug it back in. What I had to wind up doing was taking out the bolts, taking the starter clear back out of it, and then I basically had to hold this thing in place, hanging in the air like that, and then plug it in. That wire is so short. Plug it in, and then work its way up into the engine. It's a good thing these are fairly small starters. I remember back in the old days, them things used to be 3 times that big. They probably weighed 40 pounds. These are a little bitty starter compared to what we used to have. Okay, you can see the starter there, right in the center of the picture there. Got the heat shield on it fairly well. Yeah, that was fun getting all that in there. This right here is the wire that's going over to the starter and behind the starter. And you ain't got no... I thought about chasing that down and unhooking it from the top side. I don't know if you could do that. I just got done drilling out these holes right here. That took me about an hour to get that done. I got a lot of hours in this thing, I tell you. Anyway, I've got the starter back on it. This is the old one. That was fun. I did that yesterday. So I'll get a closer look up here of this. This right here, you're gonna have to have some studs to go into it, bolts and studs, like for a flange. You have a stud in there and a bolt on each end. I'll show you that here in a minute. Yeah. You bolt through. You got a flange on the other side. This will go to the exhaust. This in here goes up to the exhaust manifold. This in here I got real lucky. I didn't break them off. That would have been a pain. I'd have basically had done the same thing right here. Maybe even a little bit bigger. I'd had to drill all this out before I can bolt it together like that. So glad I put some liquid wrench on it, let it sit overnight, and I believe I did it one more night, and it really popped hard whenever I took them off. These are all drilled out good. These will fit right in there. Put a bolt on each end of it, flange it together. So that takes care of the Cadillac converter. Now we can install it with no problem. Anyway, all this is pretty well done. Now ready to get the Cadillac converter on there. Ready to get this car done. So I'm gonna see if I can't get that in there real quick. Okay, this is the bottom side of the Cadillac converter. Now we gotta go work on the top side. You gotta make sure you got them bolts stabbed into the flanger before you get the bottom down. Might as well change oil while I'm under here. It's time to get it done. I change it about 50%. I don't let it get all the way to 90 or 100%. That helps save your engine. Okay, this is my first start with this project. Let's see what's gonna happen. Well, that don't sound too good. Well, it looks like I got an exhaust leak. I'm gonna have to maybe have to flip that gasket back over. I don't know. Fun never ends, huh? Okay. Try it again, I guess. Like a hot rod Cadillac now. Now I don't have something tight, I guess. I just have to jack it up and see where I'm leaking at. Okay, after I fixed the top gasket, got it squared away. It was out of position, so now we'll try a second time, see if it's gonna work now. Yeah, sounds a lot better. So we got this thing fixed now. So thanks for watching.